Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. We are going to dive right in because we have a truly fantastic masterclass in concise storytelling to unpack. Today we're looking at a brilliant 90-second fable script called Little Friend, Big Deed. And you know, what's absolutely fascinating about this script is just how incredibly efficient it is. It builds characters, it creates tension, and it delivers this really timeless message all in about a minute and a half. If you love figuring out exactly how stories tick, well, you are definitely in the right place.
So, let me ask you something. Does physical size determine your true value? It's a pretty profound question, isn't it? I mean, we constantly judge people's capabilities, and sometimes even our own, based on purely superficial traits. Well, today's short story answers that exact question, using two wildly different characters. And as you'll see, it takes all of our usual assumptions and completely flips them upside down.
All right, let's jump into Section 1, Two Sides of the Jungle, where we look at the narrative setup.
Right off the bat, the script sets a very specific stage for us. Picture this, a dense, incredibly vibrant jungle. The writer actually makes a point to note that the scene opens with light, ambient music to give us a really peaceful baseline. And within this lush ecosystem, we meet two animals who are sharing the same space, but honestly, they couldn't be more different from one another. This initial sense of peaceful coexistence is exactly the foundation we need before the narrative starts shaking things up.
This setup gives us a textbook example of classic character contrast. On one hand, we've got this clever monkey. The script describes him as constantly jumping and bounding through the trees, just super high energy, agile, always in motion. Then, on the other hand, you have an elephant. He's got this totally calm demeanor, just relaxing and slowly wandering by the river. So we're basically looking at the hyperactive canopy dweller versus the grounded, slow-moving giant. This whole visual and behavioral contrast sets up literally everything that follows.
Moving right along to Section 2, Arrogance and the Storm. It's time for a clash of egos.
Well, as you might have guessed, that piece doesn't last very long. The monkey, completely full of himself and his own acrobatic skills, decides it's a good idea to mock the elephant. He playfully but super arrogantly shouts down, "Hey, brother elephant, you are so big but useless. You can't even climb a tree." Just look at the hubris there. The monkey is taking his own specific skill, climbing, and equating it with absolute overall value. Because the elephant can't do exactly what the monkey does, the monkey writes him off as completely useless.
But get this, the elephant's reaction is just brilliant. He doesn't get mad, he doesn't yell back. The script specifically points out that the elephant just smiles. With this incredible, calm stoicism, he simply says, "Everyone has their own strength, friend." I love that. That single line of dialogue gives the elephant so much character depth. He is totally secure in who he is, and he knows for a fact that his worth isn't defined by some monkey's arbitrary standards.
So the elephant drops this absolute gem of wisdom, but of course, the monkey isn't really listening. Which really begs the question, does agility always work? Is being fast and nimble actually enough to survive any situation? We are definitely about to find out.
That brings us to Section 3, Recognizing True Strength, which is our climax.
Okay, notice how the pacing just rapidly takes off here. The script throws in an abrupt audio cue, and suddenly, bam, strong winds and heavy rain. A fierce storm just hits the jungle out of nowhere. The trees start swaying violently. The exact same environment the monkey felt so superior in, it literally becomes a trap. His branch starts to break. Terrified, the monkey cries out for help. And the second he hears this, the elephant sprints right into action. That slow giant is suddenly moving with incredible, urgent speed.
Without a single second of hesitation, the elephant reaches the breaking tree. He stretches up with his massive long trunk, catches that terrified monkey just in the nick of time, and gently lowers him to a safe spot on the ground. Talk about beautiful irony, right? Actually, scratch that, it's poetic justice. The elephant's massive size and his long trunk, the exact things the monkey laughed at him for, are precisely the tools that make him the perfect rescuer in a life-or-death situation.
Once the storm finally passes, the pacing slows way back down to this quiet, comforting rhythm. The monkey is completely safe, but man, he is deeply ashamed. He looks up at the giant he just insulted a few minutes ago and says, "Forgive me, brother elephant. I underestimated you." It's this moment of absolute raw humility. The monkey realizes his whole worldview was just way too narrow.
And the elephant? He warmly accepts the apology. He just replies, "No problem, friend. We are all different, and that is our strength." The script actually notes that happy music swells right at this part. From that day on, they officially become best friends. The elephant doesn't hold on to a grudge at all.
Instead, he uses that moment to reinforce the exact same wisdom he offered before the storm. But now, the monkey actually gets it.
And finally, Section 4, the story's important lesson. Let's look at the story resolution.
The core takeaway of this story is brilliantly simple. Don't underestimate anyone, because everyone has a specialty. It's one of those universal messages that hits home for literally all ages. Look, just because someone doesn't have the exact same skill set as you, it doesn't mean they lack value. Their unique abilities might be the exact thing you need when the environment shifts and a storm hits. It's such a powerful reminder, wrapped up in a quick, 90-second jungle fable.
You know what's also really cool? The meta layer of our source material. The author specifically points out that this script is modular. It's perfectly designed for modern content creation. Because the structure is so incredibly tight, setup, conflict, climax, resolution, it can easily be adapted into a YouTube short, an animated cartoon, a standalone voiceover, or even an educational breakdown like we're doing. It just proves that classic storytelling mechanics are the absolute best engine for today's digital formats.
As we wrap up this explainer today, I want to leave you with something to really chew on, inspired directly by our two jungle friends. Who in your own life has a hidden strength that you might be underestimating? Maybe it's time we stop judging fish by their ability to climb trees, or in this case, elephants. Think about it. I really hope this structural breakdown gives you a brand new appreciation for the sheer power of a well-crafted short story. Until next time, keep learning and keep looking for those hidden strengths in everyone around you.